In a small, bustling African town, where the scent of spices filled the air and the sounds of merchants haggling echoed through the streets, there lived a young woman named Amina. Amina was unlike anyone else in the town. She was mute, unable to speak a single word from birth. Despite her silence, her presence was powerful, and her knowledge of plants and herbs was legendary. People called her the Silent Healer. Amina lived on the outskirts of the town, in a modest hut surrounded by a lush garden. Her garden was no ordinary patch of land. It was a haven of vibrant, flourishing plants. Every leaf, root, and flower seemed to hum with life. Her grandmother, a wise herbalist, had raised her and taught her the secrets of the earth. Before she passed away, she told Amina, "Your hands will speak for you. Use them to heal, and the world will listen." As Amina grew, her reputation spread far and wide. People came from distant villages seeking remedies for their ailments. She never turned anyone away, no matter how poor or desperate they were. With her gentle hands and deep understanding of nature, she prepared poultices, teas, and oils that worked wonders. Her patients often left her hut with lighter hearts and healthier bodies, grateful for her kindness and skill. But not everyone in the town appreciated Amina. Some people whispered behind her back, calling her odd or unnatural. Others mocked her silence, questioning how someone who couldn't speak could truly understand the complexities of healing. Yet Amina remained undeterred. She let her work speak for her, knowing that her purpose was greater than the opinions of those who didn't understand her. One day, a wealthy merchant named Qasim arrived in the town. Qasim was a man of immense pride, known for his lavish lifestyle and disregard for those he deemed beneath him. He was a skeptic who believed only in material wealth and modern medicine, but fate had humbled him. His young son, Idris, had fallen gravely ill with a mysterious illness that no doctor could cure. The boy's condition worsened by the day, and Qasim was desperate. Hearing whispers of Amina's abilities, Qasim reluctantly decided to seek her help. He arrived at her hut in his ornate carriage, accompanied by servants carrying gifts to secure her favor. As he stepped into her humble abode, he was struck by the simplicity of her life. The air was filled with the soothing aroma of herbs, and the walls were lined with jars of carefully labeled remedies. Amina greeted him with a nod and gestured for him to explain his son's condition. Qasim's pride nearly prevented him from asking for her help, but his love for his son overpowered his ego. He described Idris's symptoms in great detail. Amina listened attentively, her dark eyes filled with understanding. Without hesitation, she began gathering ingredients from her shelves and garden. She mixed a concoction of roots, leaves, and oils with the precision of an artist creating a masterpiece. She handed Qasim the remedy, along with instructions written on a piece of parchment. Her handwriting was neat and clear, a reflection of her meticulous nature. Qasim, still skeptical, accepted the medicine with a mix of hope and doubt. He left her hut without a word of thanks, his mind too preoccupied with his son's condition. Days passed, and Idris began to recover. His fever broke, and his strength returned. Qasim was astonished. The doctors, who had failed to cure his son, marveled at the boy's transformation. News of Idris's recovery spread like wildfire, and people's respect for Amina grew. Even Qasim, the proud merchant, couldn't deny her skill. Humbled by her abilities, Qasim returned to Amina's hut, this time with genuine gratitude. He offered her gold coins and luxurious gifts, hoping to repay her. But Amina shook her head and placed a hand over her heart, signaling that her reward was the boy's health. Qasim was deeply moved. For the first time, he saw beyond her silence and understood the depth of her compassion. Not long after Idris's recovery, the town faced a new crisis. A strange illness swept through the streets, infecting people of all ages. The symptoms were severe, and the local doctors were powerless against it. Fear and panic gripped the town as more and more people fell ill. The townsfolk turned to Amina, their last hope. Despite the overwhelming number of patients, she worked tirelessly, treating each person with the same care and dedication. She devised remedies using plants from her garden and taught the healthy individuals how to prevent the spread of the illness. Her home became a sanctuary, a place where people found solace and healing. As the days turned into weeks, Amina's efforts began to bear fruit. The number of new cases dwindled and the sick started to recover. The town's gratitude for Amina was immeasurable. People who once mocked her silence now praised her wisdom and kindness. She had not only saved their lives, but also restored their faith in the power of compassion and humility. Through her actions, Amina taught the town an invaluable lesson. True wisdom and kindness transcend words. Her silence was not a limitation, but a strength that allowed her to listen deeply, observe keenly, and act selflessly. She showed that actions speak louder than words, and that the greatest healers are those who care for others without seeking recognition or reward. Qasim, once blinded by pride and wealth, learned to value humility and the contributions of those he had once overlooked. The townsfolk, too, came to understand that every individual, no matter how different, has something unique to offer. Amina's story reminds us that our actions define us more than our words. In a world often obsessed with appearances and eloquence, it is the quiet, selfless deeds that leave a lasting impact. The silent healer's legacy lived on, inspiring generations to embrace kindness, respect diversity, and recognize the beauty of silent strength.